Madam Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Logistics and Infrastructure. Minister, Territorians are struggling with the cost of living, particularly for things like the cost of housing and fuel. Of course, not everyone has access to a taxpayer-funded fuel card. Minister, can you please update the House on how the CLP government is in touch with Territorians regarding the cost of living?
Minister for Logistics and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for Goyder for the question. And I did recently see the Leader of the Opposition on State Line, and she was right to say that the previous Labor government had lost touch, and I can tell you, Madam Speaker, she was right and she's still right. Because the 4 remaining members of the Labor opposition are from that very government the Leader of the Opposition claims lost touch with Territorians. Madam Speaker, there is no new talent in the Labor Party parliamentary wing. There are no new members in Parliament for the Labor Party who weren't a part of that train wreck of a government. And Madam Speaker, we constantly sit here and get lectured by those opposite about integrity and that they are the new Labor Party, something that rose from the ashes, if you like. It sounds like the phoenix rising from the ashes, Madam Speaker, but Madam Speaker, I think it's more like the smouldering of that train wreck. But, Madam Speaker, when half of the opposition Labor Party room uses taxpayer-funded fuel cards like Bunnings gift cards on Boxing Day, I just sit over here and I laugh. We can never forget when in 2022 the member for Daly charged taxpayers more than $2,600 on his fuel card for a scenic road trip from the Northern Territory to Noosa in Queensland along the New South Wales northern coast. And Madam Speaker, we also can't forget when the member for Gwoja charged taxpayers $800 for interstate travel to visit South Australia's wine country in December 2022, while Alice Springs was seeing a significant increase in crime. Madam Speaker, it also appears the member for Daly charged taxpayers for a healthy amount of beef jerky and iced coffee, with the numbers not adding up on his fuel purchases. Maybe he can ask the member for Gwoja to help him with the numbers and work on his accounting. We constantly sit here, Madam Speaker, in this chamber listening to the member for Gwoja's 40-minute yap sessions while he tries to lecture us on the integrity of politics. But he is the biggest hypocrite of them all. Madam Speaker, we heard the Leader of Opposition on State Line talk about internal politics. Madam Speaker, we all know the member for Gwoja wants the opposition leader's job. Madam Speaker, the member for Gwoja fancies himself. He loves the limelight, but I can tell you now, Madam Speaker, I don't think that people of the Territory love him very much. Unlike those opposite, the CLP government got straight to work to deliver cost of living relief and put money back in the pockets of families in the Northern Territory. Thousands of people have already taken up on the free one-year licences and our first home and fresh start grants. Over 400 Territorians into their dream home, Madam Speaker. Because, Madam Speaker, the CLP government is listening to Territorians, something those opposite don't have much practice in.